The cold wind of an empty planet blew across the silent outpost. Commander Arichin stood alone. His dark uniform, once bright with medals, was covered in dust. His eyes, hard and sharp, had seen too many battles, too many lies. The stars above him blinked like old ghosts watching. He had left the war behind. He had left her behind. 5 years ago, Valera vanished during the Galactic Peace Summit. She was the only alien who dared to stand beside a human during war. The only one who spoke. Both tongues the voice of two enemies. And the only one Arichin trusted with his life. They said she died in a shuttle explosion. They showed Arichin a video. Flames, silence, he believed it, he had to. But today, something strange happened. His personal data chip, locked and sealed in an iron case, suddenly lit up with a red signal. It should have been impossible. That chip had no connection to the outer net, no access, no power, but it blinked. One file. One voice message. If you hear this, I've broken the treaty. Forgive me. Valera's voice. Older, weaker, scared. File was timed. Only Arichin could open it. Only if the treaty was broken, and now it was. He stood frozen. The message continued. I did what I had to do. I thought it would stop the war, but I was wrong. They lied, Arichin. They lied to both of us. You must leave Earth. Come to me. Please, before they silence me again. Arichin fell to his knees, her voice. After all this time, his mind screamed. It could be a trick, a fake, a trap, but his heart whispered only one word. Valera. He entered his hidden bunker, deep underground. Protected by 10 codes and an old AI named Ghostlight. The AI recognized the voice. Identity confirmed. Message verified. Do you wish to play the rest? Arichin nodded. His hands shook. Valera's face appeared. Pale skin, blue eyes glowing softly. But her hair was messy. Her voice was uneven. They never wanted peace, Arichin. I found the truth too late. That treaty, it's a weapon. You must come. But not through official paths. They're watching everything. Use the dark roots. Trust no one. And if I'm gone, go to the forgotten planet. You'll find what they buried. Static. Then silence. Arichin stood up. Everything inside him screamed to stay hidden. The galaxy had moved on. He was a relic. A shadow of war. But something else moved inside him. Hope, rage, love, all mixed in one storm. He tapped the dusty wall. A hidden door opened. Inside was his old armor, his sword, his pulse rifle. And one more thing, a photo. Him and Valera. Side by side, smiling. He closed his eyes, whispered, "You better be alive," and walked out into the night. 2 hours later, Human Colony Orbit Station. The control room was quiet. A young officer looked bored, sipping bitter tea. Suddenly, all screens turned red. Alarm sirens echoed. Unregistered ship has launched. Identity, Commander Arichin. Tracking path, unknown. Panic, commanders rushed in. One shouted, "He's heading into alien space. Get me the Prime Fleet." But it was too late. Ren's ship had already jumped into warp. Deep in alien territory. The unseen eyes far away. Hidden ships activated. Watching, waiting. A message was sent across secret channels. The ghost has returned. Begin protocol. Silence. In a dark chamber, an alien general, tall and thin, with skin like dark glass, stood before a hologram of Ren's face. Valera sent the message. That was a mistake, the general hissed. A voice from behind said, "Shall we kill him?" The general shook his head. "No, not yet. Let him come. Let him see what remains of her. Then he'll break." Flashback, 6 years ago. First contact gone wrong. Valera stood in front of 1,000 leaders, alien, human, robotic. She translated every word between the species. The war had lasted too long. She believed she could help stop it. She believed Arachin was the key. But behind the scenes, she learned the truth. The treaty wasn't for peace. It was a trick, designed to weaken human fleets, to pull back forces, to leave Earth open. When she tried to stop it, she was labeled a traitor by her own people. Her shuttle was sabotaged. But she survived, captured, hidden, tortured for 5 long years. Present, back to Ren's ship moved through illegal space. Dead sectors. Ruins of old wars. His AI gave a warning. Multiple unknown signals detected. Recommend stealth mode. Arachin ignored it. He wasn't hiding. If they were watching, they'd know he was coming. He found an abandoned station near the Broken Belt Nebula. Valera had mentioned it once. Inside, he found a broken console. But also, a drawing, childlike, but clear. A human and an alien standing side by side. In the corner, a symbol he remembered from Valera's pendant. A message on the wall in dried paint. He will come. Arachin stared at it for a long time. She's alive, he whispered. Meanwhile, alien council chamber. Dozens of species sat in silence. One alien slammed the table. If he reaches her, the truth will spread. Another said, the treaty is holding, barely. Letting him dig deeper will shatter everything. The head of the council said, then we make a choice. Kill the human, or kill the memory. A screen lit up. Valera's face, pale, bruised, but eyes burning with fire. She was alive. But for how long? Final scene, edge of the enemy border and ship stopped. Before him, the enemy's border. Thousands of mines, beacons, defense platforms, crossing. Meant war. His hand hovered over the throttle. Then he heard it again. Her voice, faint, from deep inside his ship's system. Please, come. He pushed forward. The mines lit up. The alarms screamed, but he didn't stop. The war was supposed to be over, but when Commander Ren's ship crossed the ancient line known as the Edge, old systems that had slept for years came alive again. Satellites activated. Drones turned. Alarm lights blinked red. And deep in the heart of alien space, a name long forgotten echoed again. Arachin. Hook. In a dark alien control room, an officer screamed, "We have a breach." The old general walked in slowly. His skin was silver blue, and his eyes were like empty mirrors. "Who dares cross the edge?" he asked quietly. The officer's voice shook. "Commander Arachin, sir." Silence. Then the general whispered something that made even the walls seem colder. "The ghost of the Red War returns." He turned to the council screen. Dozens of alien leaders appeared. "He's awake," the general said. "And if he remembers who he is, the galaxy is in danger again." Meanwhile, Ren's ship Ren sat in his dark cockpit. Lights flashed around him, warnings screamed. "Enemy systems tracking us," his AI said. "Multiple weapons charging. Do you wish to retreat?" He didn't answer. His eyes were fixed ahead, past the minefields, past the satellites, past the old battle scars floating in space. He whispered, "They remember me." His fingers moved quickly. He activated his ships. Stealth armor. Old tech, human-made, silent and deadly. It hadn't been used in years, but it still worked. The enemy lost sight of him. In the shadow sector, the Temple of Silence on a cold moon filled with ruins. A strange group of aliens prayed in a circle. They were not soldiers, not scientists. They were monks, keepers of memories. In the center of their temple stood a statue, a human, wearing battle armor, holding a broken sword. Under it, the words, "Do not wake him." But now, alarms rang in their walls. One monk dropped his candle. "He has crossed the edge," someone said. Another whispered, "We told them. We warned them. The human is not a soldier. He is a storm." Arachin lands. Dead planet signal. Sitterhan landed on a dead planet with no life. No light. Only dust and metal bones. This was the place Valera marked in her message. Old towers lay broken. Satellite dishes half buried in sand. A wind howled like the cries of lost souls. He walked alone. Every step echoed with the past. Here, during the war, he destroyed 3 alien fleets in one night. Alone, with one ship. No backup. They had called it a massacre. He had called it survival. But the ground still held the scars. And now, Valera had sent him back here for a reason. He finds the hidden chamber behind a broken dish. I found a weak energy reading. They dug. Below the dust, they found a metal door sealed, old, but still alive. He entered. Darkness. Then lights flickered on. It was a secret chamber. A listening post. Filled with recordings, files, old data drives. He found one, a file. With her voice again. If you're seeing this, it means you made it past the edge. Her face looked tired, her voice soft. You must understand now. The peace treaty was never real. It was designed to keep you quiet, weak, hidden, but they never stopped building, never stopped planning. I found the truth. That's why they locked me away. She paused, looking down. I don't know how much time I have. But if anyone can burn through lies, it's you. Then she looked straight into the camera and whispered, Rachel, they're still afraid of you. That's your weapon. The message ended. Ren's eyes hardened. He stared at the dark screen. Valera was alive. But this time, it wasn't just about her. They feared him. Even after 5 years. Even after exile. Even after peace. They feared what he might do. He stood up. No more hiding. Alien military base. Panic grows on the planet Tarvek. Alien leaders gathered in panic. He's crossed 2 sectors already. One shouted. Another slammed a clawed hand on the table. We promised the galaxy peace. If he keeps going. The silver-blue general walked in. Let him come. Everyone turned. Have you lost your mind? Someone asked. No, he replied. Calmly, I remember him. I fought him once. We were 10 ships. He was 1. He didn't run. He didn't hide. He laughed. The room went silent. He stepped closer. If we stop him now, the galaxy will think we fear the truth. But if we show him what Valera has become, he will break. A flashback. Arichan and Valera's bond, years ago, during a brutal siege. Arichan was wounded. Valera dragged him to safety. He had killed hundreds of her kind, but she didn't care. She believed in something greater, understanding. I see both sides, she once told him. But with you, I see hope. They had laughed in dark caves, shared secrets, fought together, and maybe something more. Now that bond was being used as a weapon. Arichan enters the forbidden sector, back in his ship. Arichan entered the forbidden sector. Here, no law existed. Only ghosts, ships floated dead, battles never cleaned. Screams still echoing through cracked comms. But here, he found something strange. A signal, faint, old, buried in static. It was a recording of Valera. They think they erased me. But I left. Clues. My real memory is hidden in the maze archive. But it's protected by the Guardian AI. You'll need your old voice key. Arichan blinked. The maze archive. A super secret data vault hidden in deep space. No one ever entered it and came out alive. But he had the voice key. He recorded it 5 years ago, just in case. The trap. As he neared the archive, his AI warned, multiple ships incoming. It's an ambush. Dozens of alien fighters surrounded him. One open comes. Turn around, human. This is your last warning. Arichan smiled. Then he pressed a button. From the back of his ship, a second drone ship launched. It sent out false signals, dozens of fake Arichan signatures. The alien fleet went wild, chasing shadows. Arichan used the confusion to enter the maze. Inside the maze archive, was a floating cube the size of a mountain. Lasers, traps, puzzles. It was designed to keep intruders out. Arichan moved carefully. Step by step, floor by floor. Finally he reached the core. A giant AI face appeared. Identify, Arichin spoke. Voice key, Commander Arichin. Memory code, Valera Project Starshade. The AI paused, then said, "Welcome back, monster," and opened the final door. The final memory inside was a single pod. Inside the pod a recording, Valera crying. "They're breaking me, Arichin. Every day they rewrite my mind. But I keep one thing. Safe, you. They can't delete that. I believe you'll come, even if I forget your name. My heart won't." She looked into the camera. "Pure pain. If I'm not me when you find me, remind me who I am. Remind me what we fought for. Don't let them win." The recording ended. Ren's hands turned into fists. He whispered, "I'm coming. And I'll remind the galaxy why they feared me." The betrayal she chose for peace 5 years ago. The Galactic Peace Summit. The hall was filled with light. Flags of hundreds of alien species waved from tall silver pillars. The Peace Summit had begun. Valera stood alone at the center. She was not like the others. While alien diplomats wore ceremonial armor and human generals stood stiff in suits, Valera wore simple clothes and no weapon. Just a silver pendant around her neck, a sign of unity. A sign of hope. She was the only one who spoke both human and alien languages perfectly, and that made her dangerous. Behind her calm face, fear was rising. She had seen something. A file, a secret report. One that showed the treaty was not for peace. It was a setup, present in deep space. Arichin moved closer and flew through a dark asteroid field. Every asteroid held scars, old marks from battles, long forgotten. A few still floated with broken pieces of ships stuck inside them. His ship AI spoke. Message signal detected. Coordinates match Valera's emergency beacon. 60,000 kilometers and closing. Ren's hands tightened on the controls. He didn't blink. He didn't breathe deeply. All he could see was her face in that last message. Tired, afraid, brave. She had chosen betrayal. Not because she wanted to hurt him, but to protect billions. He whispered to himself, "Whatever they did to you, I'll undo it." Flashback. The day she betrayed Earth. Valera was not just a translator. She was a spy. Not by choice, but by need. She had found the file accidentally during a routine communication check. It wasn't even encrypted. That was the strange part. Inside a plan. The treaty would begin with peace offerings, then alien fleets would retreat from human borders. And just as Earth lowered its shields and moved its warships to the inner colonies, the Oblivion Fleet, a secret armada hidden in black space, would strike. Fast, silent, no mercy. They called it Operation Final. And Earth had no idea. Valera's choice. She sat in her small room, holding the file. Her hands shook. She could tell Arichin. He would believe her. But then he would act loudly, violently. He would burn the peace treaty before it even began. The galaxy would turn against humanity again. Billions would die in the chaos. So she chose another way. She leaked part of the file to Human Command, but in a different code. She sent fake data to delay the treaty activation. And then she made herself the target. She stood at the summit and said one line that changed everything. Earth has already broken the peace. She watched Ren's eyes widen in pain and confusion. He didn't understand. Not then. She was dragged out of the hall by alien guards, and the explosion followed. Present. Arichin reaches the signal. Sitterhan landed on a rocky moon, half covered in metal ruins. There, buried deep under stone, he found the signal device. It was cracked. Burned. But still alive. He touched it. The screen lit up. Valera's face again, but this message was different. She was crying. "They showed me your face today, said you were dead. I didn't believe them. I couldn't. I dream about the day I lied to you. You looked so hurt. I thought I would die before I could explain, but I'm still here. And if you are too, then maybe there's still hope." Her voice broke. "They're changing me, Arachin, every day. Piece by piece, but I remember your voice, your laugh. That stupid joke about soup in space." She smiled weakly. "Come find me, even if I forget you remind me." The message ended. Alien facility. Valera's mind prison far away, inside. A hidden alien moon station. Valera sat on a cold metal chair. Her eyes stared forward blank. Wires connected to her head. Doctors walked around her, checking brain scans. One spoke. "She still resists." "Small memories keep returning," another said. "Erase again." Level 3. Use pain block. But one young alien doctor hesitated. She looked at Valera. And whispered, "She's waiting for someone." No one noticed the tear that slid down Valera's cheek. Back to Arachin. A message from an old friend. His ship received a signal. It was encrypted, but the voice was familiar. "Rechin, this is Captain Harlan. I shouldn't be contacting you, but I saw your name appear in the system. You've crossed the forbidden line. They've erased Valera from the records, but I kept one file. Just one." The message loaded. A photo, Valera in a cell, holding a small paper with something scribbled. "He will come." Arachin stared at it for a long time, then said, "I'm already here." Alien Council. They discover the photo leak. The alien leaders screamed in anger. "Who leaked the image? The human has it. It's too late now. The people are asking questions." In hidden systems, thousands of aliens who once supported the treaty were waking up. They remembered Valera. Some called her a traitor, but others called her the peacemaker. Rebel groups began to stir, and all of them repeated one message: "The human is coming." Valera's mind triggers a reaction inside her cell. Valera suddenly jerked, her fingers twitched, her lips moved. No sound came out, but her brain patterns shifted, flashed, her heartbeat increased. The doctors panicked. "She's reacting to something." They increased the sedatives, but she kept whispering something, over and over. "Don't blink like that. Don't blink like that." They didn't understand, but Arachin would. Flashback, a private moment before the war ended. Valera were hiding inside a broken base. Rain fell hard on the roof. They were cold, wet, and both had wounds. Valera leaned on him. He joked about how humans blink weirdly when they lie. She had laughed. "You blink like that when you're scared." He replied, "Then I'm scared all the time." She looked into his eyes and whispered, "Then don't blink like that again, ever." It was the last thing she said to him before she died. Arachin reaches the prison world, following a map hidden inside the signal code. Arachin reached a dark planet covered by a gravity shield. His eye warned, "Entry will trigger alarms. Do you wish to proceed?" Arachin replied, "Yes, I've waited 5 years. They've had their turn." He flew straight into the storm. Alarms rang across the prison world. Guards prepared weapons, but Arachin didn't slow down. Final scene. The reunion begins. Valera sat in the metal chair. Her eyes were dull. Then a new alarm rang. A red light blinked. In the distance. Explosions. Suddenly her eyes twitched. A whisper escaped her lips. "He's here." The silence was thick. No birds, no machines, no voices, just cold metal walls and the faint hum of power systems deep underground. Commander Wren's ship landed on the small, forgotten moon where Valera had last been seen alive. He stepped out into the chill air. His boots echoed on cracked metal plates. The wind carried no scent, only the quiet of a place abandoned and broken. This was no ordinary prison. This was a laboratory, a place where hope was studied and tortured. The entrancer Han found the entrance easily. A massive metal door with alien symbols carved deep into it. The signs warned anyone who came close, "Enter and lose yourself." The door was locked tight. But Harchin did not hesitate. He used his old military codes only a few humans still knew. The door hissed open. Inside, cold lights flickered. The air smelled of chemicals and burnt circuits. Pipes ran along the ceiling, dripping drops of unknown liquids. The walls were covered with strange machines, monitors, wires, and strange tools no human could understand. The echoes of pain as Arichin moved forward. The walls seemed to whisper. He heard faint voices, cries, and sometimes laughter. Not real, but recordings. Memories trapped in machines. One monitor showed a blurry image. Valera's face, but changed. Her eyes empty, her skin pale and cracked. A voice came through the speakers, soft but cold. Subject 0174, alien hybrid, translator, resistant to memory wipes. Emotional triggers active. Arichin clenched his fists. They kept her alive, but only to torture her mind. The hall of records. He walked into a long hallway lined with data panels. The room held years of secret files. Battles, betrayals, experiments. Arichin stopped in front of one terminal. He touched the screen. The data loaded slowly. There was a file named Project Starshade. The screen lit up with an image of Valera's DNA and brain scans. Side by side were alien and human symbols, showing how she was being used as a weapon. A bridge between two species. Another file showed experiments, flashes of light, brain waves and shadows of the lab's victims. Arichin felt his chest tighten. The secret message as Arichin explored. A small hidden compartment opened automatically. Inside was a device, a memory recorder. He activated it. Valera's voice filled the room. If you find this, it means I failed to escape. But this is my last truth. They tried to break me, to erase everything I was. But my mind remembers one thing. The treaty was a lie. And the one who made it is still watching. If you want peace, don't trust the treaties. Trust only your own strength. The hidden cellrun followed a narrow corridor to a locked cell. The door was reinforced with alien metal, but cracks showed signs of recent use. Inside was darkness. He turned on his flashlight. Valera sat in the corner, her body thin and fragile. Her eyes closed. When she opened them, they were empty, lost. Valera. Arichin whispered. She looked at him slowly. Recognition sparked deep inside her eyes. But then, confusion. Who are you? She asked softly. Ren's heart broke. The fight to bring her back. Valera's mind was a battlefield. Years of torture had broken her memories into pieces. But Arichin refused to give up. He sat beside her, holding her hand. He told her stories of their past, their fights, their laughter. Slowly, small sparks of her old self began to shine through. She whispered words only he would know. Don't blink like that. You always said I blinked when I was scared. Arichin smiled sadly. That's right. The alien soldiers arrived suddenly. Alarms screamed. The prison had detected unauthorized entry. Alien soldiers rushed down the hall. Harchin grabbed his pulse rifle. Valera stood, weak but determined. Together, they fought side by side. Arind covered Valera. As they ran through dark corridors, the soldiers were many. But Ren's skill was sharp. They made it to a service hatch. Escape into the unknown, Ren, and Valera escaped into the tunnels beneath the lab. The tunnels were narrow and winding, filled with pipes and strange noises. Valera's breathing was weak. She whispered, Arichin, the treaty, it's worse than I told you. He held her closer. Tell me. It's not just about Earth. It's about control. The treaty's goal was to weaken all species, to let one secret power rise. If they win, no one will be free. Ren's eyes darkened. They had to stop it. Outside, the galaxy. Watch's word of Ren's sudden attack spread quickly. Alien news feeds buzzed. Some called Arichin a terrorist. Others whispered he was a hero. In the vast reaches of space, Resistance groups rallied. The memory of Valera, the translator who betrayed and suffered, became a symbol, a new ally as they escaped the tunnels. A figure appeared in the shadows, a young alien rebel, hooded and wary. "I've been waiting for you," she said. Her name was Myra. She had been one of Valera's secret helpers inside the prison. Myra carried maps, weapons, and hope together. They planned their next move. The final words before battle. Valera looked at Arachin. "I don't know if I can be the same again." Arachin smiled softly. "You don't have to be the same. You only have to be you." She took a deep breath. The fight was just beginning. The cold light of the prison moon flickered. Valera sat motionless in a quiet room deep underground. Her eyes were open but empty, staring at nothing. Commander Arachin stood beside her. He watched her carefully, searching for any sign of the woman he once knew. For years, Valera had been tortured, not with weapons, but with her own mind. The aliens tried to erase her memories, to reshape her into a tool, a weapon against humanity. Most days, it seemed to work, but today, something was different. The awakening Vela's fingers twitched slightly. Her lips parted, and a faint sound escaped, a whisper. Rachin leaned closer. "Valera?" She blinked slowly, and her eyes focused on him for the first time in years. "Don't blink like that," she whispered, voice weak but filled with recognition. Arachin smiled softly. That small spark of memory was all he needed to hold on to. She was still there. Flashback. The last day before capture of Veli and Arachin had been hiding in the ruins of an ancient city. Alien bombs exploded nearby, shaking the ground. Valera had just given Arachin a small silver pendant, the one he now wore around his neck. "Promise me," she had said, "no matter what happens, don't forget who we are. Don't forget why we fight." Arachin had nodded. Never. Present, the battle for her mind. The alien doctors monitored Valera closely. Their leader, a cold and ruthless scientist named Drail, spoke. "We must erase the last traces of human loyalty. This memory is a weakness. It makes her unreliable." He ordered the machines to begin a new round of brain wipes, but Valera resisted. Her mind flickered between pain and fragments of memories. Images of RHEN. Laughter. The promise and the pain. Ren's fight outside the prison walls. Arachin led a small team of rebels. They had come to rescue Valera, but the enemy was ready. Laser fire filled the corridors. Aliens in heavy armor moved like shadows. Arachin moved fast, his pulse rifle cutting through the darkness. He was a ghost, a storm, a hero of wars long past. But the enemy was strong. His men fell one by one. He screamed, "Hold the line. We're not leaving without her." Valera's memory breaks through inside her cell. Valera suddenly gasped. Her eyes filled with tears. "I remember," she said softly. "Her, your laugh. The stupid jokes. The promise." She reached out, but her hand trembled. The doctors were shocked. The brain wipes had failed. The hidden Truthrin found a secret room in the prison. Inside were files, documents about Valera's real mission. She had been sent as a spy, not to betray humanity, but to protect it. Her betrayal at the summit was planned by the alien council to silence her. The treaty was a lie, a trap to weaken Earth and all free species, and Valera knew too much. Desperate, Planrin sat with Valera in a safe room. He held her hand. "Can you fight them?" he asked softly. She looked into his eyes. "Yes," she said. "But I will need help." Arachin nodded. "We will find it. Together." The alarm, enemy forces close in. Suddenly, alarm screamed again. The prison was under attack. Arachin looked out. The window. Ships were landing, he said. "They want to finish this, now." Valera squeezed his hand. "We won't let them." The final push. Ren and his team fought their way through endless corridors. They faced the cruel scientists, deadly soldiers, and traps designed to kill. Valera's mind grew stronger with every step. She repeated old words, memories rising like flames. The moment of truth, Ren reached Valera's cell. He smashed the door open. She was weak, but standing. Their eyes met. Arachin said, "We're here." "You're free." Valera smiled faintly. "And I remember why." Escape together. They ran through the chaos. Explosions shook the halls. Arachin carried Valera when she grew too weak. They reached their ship as alien forces closed in. Arachin started the engines. They blasted off into the stars. Hope restored. Valera rested in the ship's medical bay. She looked at Arachin. "Thank you," she whispered. He smiled. "We have a galaxy to save." The stars glowed cold through the shattered windows of the rebel ship. Commander Arachin sat beside Valera in the dim light of the ship's medical bay. Her eyes were clearer now, but a storm brewed in her mind. "What I found," she whispered. "It's worse than we thought." Arachin leaned in, heart pounding. The truth revealed. Vela opened a datapad. A secret file stolen from the deepest archives of the Alien Council. On the screen, blueprints of fleets, weapons, and most terrifying of all, the extermination plan. The treaty was never meant for peace. It was a strategy to destroy species by species. To make the galaxy a place ruled by one shadowed power. They called it Project Eclipse. Flashback. The secret council meeting years ago, hidden from the public. The council met in a dark chamber. An alien leader, tall and cruel, spoke coldly. "We will offer peace to lull them into false safety." Another smiled. "Then, when their guards are down, the Oblivion fleets will strike." Valera was there, hidden in the shadows, forced to watch. She knew she had to stop this, but no one believed her. Ren's forearm slammed his fist on the table. "They want to kill us all." He stood pacing. "We can't let this happen. We have to warn Earth, warn every free planet." Valera nodded. "But they watch everything. They control the networks." The resistance grows back on the ship's bridge. A young alien woman named Mira joined them. "We've gathered rebels from 10 systems," she said. "We have weapons, ships, and people tired of lies." Arachin smiled grimly. "The galaxy is waking up." The plan to expose the truth. Valera explained the only way to stop the genocide. Broadcast the Council's secret files to every planet. But the Council had powerful spies and assassins. They had to break into the Galactic Archive, a fortress in neutral space. The archive held the main communication hub. If they could hack it, they could show the galaxy the truth. Danger in neutral space. Erhan prepared the ship. "This is suicide," he said. "But if no one else does it, we will die as slaves." Valera placed her hand on his shoulder. "We're not alone." The Galactic Archive. The archive was a massive station floating near a dead star. It was surrounded by the best defenses, turrets, shields, and hundreds of patrol ships. Ren's ship slipped through asteroid fields to avoid detection. The tension was thick. Every moment could be their last. Inside the archive, they entered the station through a forgotten maintenance shaft. Dark halls stretched before them. Valera led the way, memory and determination lighting her path. Alarms blared. Alien guards rushed to stop them. Ren's team fought fiercely. The data vault. They reached the data vault, a massive room filled with glowing servers. Valera connected a device. Data streamed fast, files, videos, and audio. Among them, the Council's secret speeches, the words of genocide. Betrayal within. Suddenly, a loud alarm. They were betrayed. One of their own turned. A close ally aimed a weapon at them. Arachin reacted fast, knocking the traitor down, but the damage was done. Broadcasting the truth. Valera took a deep breath. She started the broadcast. The files spread through the galaxies. Communication channels. Images of the secret council. Plans to destroy entire worlds. Shockwave. Across the galaxy, planets stopped. Leaders gasped. Rebels cheered. The truth was out. Council in chaos. The alien council scrambled. Their power was slipping. Many feared a war they could no longer control. The general who once said, "Let him come," now whispered in fear, "The monster has awakened." Final words before the last battle. Hearn stood on the ship's deck, Valera beside him. "This fight is not just for us," she said. "It's for every being who wants freedom." Arichin clenched his fists. "Then let's make sure the galaxy never forgets who we are." The sky was on fire. Above the dead moon of Vorthas, fleets gathered like angry clouds ready to storm. Thousands of ships stood in position ready for war. In the center, Ren's rebel ship hovered, damaged but not broken. Inside, Valera looked at the holoscreen, watching messages flood in from across the galaxy. Her voice shook. "We did it, Arichin." They saw the truth. But the truth alone was not enough. Now came the battle. The galaxy awakens on a dozen planets. From desert worlds to frozen colonies, people rose up. Alien rebels, human outlaws, even ex-soldiers from the Council's army. All shouted the same thing. "No more lies, no more fear. We fight." Ships once loyal to the Council turned. Banners of rebellion flew, but the enemy was still strong. The High Council's supreme fleet, led by Admiral Zavek, was coming, and they were not coming to negotiate. Ren's final speech in the rebel ship's command room. Arichin stood before a small camera. He pressed record. "To everyone who hears this," he said, "we never wanted war. We only wanted freedom, but they gave us no choice. Today we stand together, not as different species, but as one voice. Let the stars remember, we were not silent." The message went out. Across the galaxy, millions watched. The enemy arrives. The Supreme Fleet appeared from hyperspace. 10,000 warships, shaped like black knives, each one armed with world-killing weapons. At the center of the fleet, Admiral Zavek watched coldly. He sneered, "Burn them all." Valera's choice as enemy ships approached. Valera looked at the core system on their ship. There was one last thing they could do, one last card to play. "We still have the Singularity engine," she said softly. Ren's eyes widened. That device built long ago could open a micro-black hole. Enough to destroy the entire fleet, but it would also destroy them. The plan: they couldn't win by force, but they could win by sacrifice. If they destroyed the enemy's command ship, the rest might fall apart. Valera nodded. "Set course for Admiral Zavek's flagship." The crew hesitated. Arichin looked at them. "You don't have to stay." No one moved. They all knew this was their last stand. The battle begins. Explosions filled space as rebel ships clashed with Council warships. Lasers lit up the darkness. Fighters screamed past each other, dancing between death and hope. Ren's ship flew straight into the heart of the battle. Enemy fire scorched their hull. Shields failed. Sparks flew inside the bridge. Inside the beast. They reached Zavek's flagship. Too big to fight directly. They used stealth, flying low, hugging the enemy hull. Valera activated the Singularity engine. It needed time to charge. Minutes felt like hours. Enemy drones found them. The crew fought desperately. One by one, brave souls gave their lives to buy more time. Face to face with the enemy, they boarded the command ship. Smoke, fire, and screams filled the air. In the control room, Admiral Zavek stood in black armor, his eyes cold, his voice sharp. "You should have stayed hidden." Arichin stepped forward. "You should have left us alone." They fought hand to hand. Zavek was strong, trained, cruel, but Arichin fought with purpose. He fought for everyone who had suffered. In the end, Zavek fell bleeding, defeated. The final trigger. Valera crawled to the core chamber. The engine was ready. The black hole would form in 60 seconds. She opened her comms. "To all ships, get clear now." Rebel fleets jumped away, barely escaping. Valera looked at Arichin. "It's time," he smiled. "Together." They held hands. The sky collapses. A dark sphere appeared where their ship was. It grew, swallowing everything. Zavak's flagship disappeared. Then the nearest ships. Then silence. The supreme fleet was gone. The battle was over. Across the galaxy, people stood in shock. The fleet that ruled for centuries was no more. Children cried. Old warriors bowed their heads. On 1,000 worlds, statues were later built, not for kings, but for heroes who chose death over silence. Valera's last words before the end. She had recorded one final message. They said peace was weakness, that hope was a lie. But we showed them, hope is the strongest weapon of all. And even in darkness, one voice can shake the stars. Years later, a human girl sat under the night sky. She looked up at the stars and smiled. Her father had told her the story of Arichin and Valera. She whispered, "Thank you for saving us." The galaxy reborn. The High Council was gone. In its place, new voices rose. Not perfect, but free. Because two people, once enemies, chose to believe in something greater. The end. And the beginning, after years apart. Her words to the human hero changed the galaxy. And they always would.